Yeah. Ah, What's up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood? Oh, excuse me. It is your man Theo Butler. We live. I know. Late notice. No notice. Y'all see the title though. Chadwick Boseman, the retrospective. Um, First, before we get started, if y'all don't mind, because I'm gonna get started, and you're gonna forget to hit the like button, share the video, and everything like that. So if you could, please, thank you. He got the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame yesterday. He did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You have no idea. I'm overjoyed about that. I absolutely am. Well deserved. Well deserved. This video that I'm doing, I felt moved, compelled. What's going on, Jarence? I felt compelled to do it because there can be some things that take place that have nothing to do with anything else. His star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame yesterday was his moment. That was his moment. I would say overdue. What's going on, Ronnie? What's going on? That was his moment. That was a moment for us to just focus right there, right? The actor that we say we like, we care about, right? Because it's supposed to be just about him, not anything else. The star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is a crowning achievements of the totality of the body of his work. Is what that is. That's Hollywood saying, hey, we appreciate everything you've done. We feel you've done so much in regards to Hollywood. Folks need to see your name right here when they walk down the Walk of Fame. They need to see you right there, immortalized. You walk down, you see the name, Chadwick Boseman. Some people, when we should have just been talking about Chadwick Boseman, took that time to talk about something else. Now that's crazy because I know who I am. If you rocking with me like I'm rocking with you, you know who I am. I didn't do that. y'all know how I feel. We talking about Chadwick Boseman. We ain't talking about 42. We ain't talking about Get On Up. We ain't talking about Gods of Egypt. We ain't talking about Marshall. We ain't talking about my favorite movie, right? We know what my favorite movie is, right? I'm drawing a blank right now. But he's known for other stuff. Like he didn't did more than one project, right? So I saw it, and it's problematic because the person who does it, I don't believe them to be by themselves. So this person took that opportunity to voice their outrage, their vitriol towards a movement. Yes, I got triggered. Message from the king. Wasn't gonna keep going without on it. Message from the king. I got triggered. I believe in being transparent, and I got triggered because I'm like, well, I get it. We got the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I see who was there, right? I'm just being honest. Well, I see who was there. I do. I heard what was said. I did. But now, if I've studied the man, not the actor, studying the actor would just be watching the movies that the actor did. If I've studied the man, I've low-key heard his words, is what I'm saying. So the words that others say, they don't supplant the words from the man once you study the man. And so in me studying the man, I found some things out. Things that I don't think get talked about enough. We talk about the roles he's been in, and we talk about the relationships that he's had with other people. But how often do we talk about the man? What the man did? That way folks can have some insight into the man. Well, when I go back and study the man was an athlete. Basketball, football. Man was nice. The man played with people who would become all pros in the National Football League. That's what the man basketball scholarship to Howard. He was nice. I don't know how many folks are talking about he was nice with it, but the dude was offered a basketball scholarship and said, no, I want to be a director. Now, why might he want to be a director? I want to tell some stories. I want to make sure those stories are told right. One of the stories he told was when he was in high school. A friend was deleted at a restaurant. And he was so torn up about it that he wrote a play. You need me to say that again? His friend was deleted at a restaurant. School was in shock. He wrote a play. First Amendment, definitely wasn't the last one. He wrote a play and dedicated that play to his friend. There's a lot of empathy involved with that. There's a lot of empathy involved with that. Then, of course, not all of us, some of us know he would go on to Howard. And what would he do when he was at Howard? Because I would like to think that if you are a Chadwick Boseman fan, that's the dude who you want to curse folks out about. That's the dude who moves you to tears, whatever you think about him leaving. That's the dude where you have a hard time watching him in certain movies because it's just going to mess with you emotionally and everything like that. I would like to think that you would talk about the man. The man who, when he was at Howard, worked at an African American bookstore. And because of that experience, that young man would go on to trace his roots back to the motherland. Proud Black man, God-fearing man, who traced his roots. Now, I didn't say free Black American. That's not what I said. No, this is a Black man who traced his roots back to Africa. Black Africa, Africa, Black. See that? Because you're calling yourself Black because of what two Germans said. He traced it all the way back to Africa, specifically, as in he know where he come from. Not enough of us can say that. Not enough of us can say that. While he was at Howard, he will also go on to write other plays. Write other plays that were prominently featured where he was at Howard. Yeah, it's nice with it. Pen in the pad. I've been called passionate. This ain't about me. But I've been called passionate. Well, I think it's safe to say he was too. We heard so much vitriol from African Americans. That's what I didn't get. I didn't understand that. Folks born in America from a people who have protested and boycotted by and large since they've been in America, and brothers and sisters who are benefiting from brothers and sisters boycotting and protesting would actually fix their mouths to say, as self-professed Chadwick Boseman fans, that protests and boycotts don't work. That was always weird to me because he literally did it at Howard. He fought for what he believed in. When so many of us would tell us to sit on the sideline and not do the same thing, he did it. It's crazy. He would go on, of course, to graduate from Howard. And shout out to Felicia Rashard, Denzel Washington. Listen, thank you. Thank you. I wish we had more of that where we took care of one another. Look at what we got. The man took the role in the gods of Egypt because he recognized there was a shortage of color. I'm not making that up. That's actually quoted in the magazine. It's one of the reasons why I started learning about him, if you will. His brother, being a devout Christian, Derek, that was knowledge for me, if I can use that word. Because as y'all heard me say before, I struggle to reconcile my ethnicity with God, having been raised down south. I was able to reconcile that through him, because of him. Because I saw a man who, you didn't have to hear him say it, you just see it as he walked, was a God-fearing man, but he was a God-fearing man from Africa. And his brother is a pastor. And they weren't muting their ethnicity. They were embracing it. So I can do that. Okay. Then you get on the soap opera and he's playing a troubled young man. Mind you, these are his words. He's recounting this story as he talks to us, as he gives the commencement speech at Howard. And one of the things you got from that was, don't be afraid to ask the tough questions. Don't be. Ask them. On the set of a successful soap opera, right? This young man, because he's talented, he's told, if you got questions, let us know. Okay, he threw that card on the table. And he asked tough questions that I would like to think any actor would ask. What's my motivation? What's going on with this character? And enough self-awareness as an African American to not just want to play that character as a stereotypical character. No, tell me what's going on. Is his mother on drugs? Okay, if she's on drugs, what type of drugs? Because yes, this child that I'm playing is going to act differently depending on what type of drugs his mother is on. Where's his father at? Does he have him? Is his father not in his life because he's been deleted? Or is his father not in his life because he's been locked up? Or is his father not in his life because he don't want to be in his life? He asked a tough question. What's going on, I tell him? He asked a tough question. And in asking that tough question, as an African American, he was let go. Quite a few of us know who came in after him to take up the role, right? Crazy, because they recast the role. Ironically, when you think that's irony, ironic as hell, when you think about the fact he was playing a role, they recast the role. Who took up that role? The relationship that was formed by that, and you hear speculation and innuendo in the air that the person who took up that role wouldn't mind taking up this role. That's crazy. That ain't what this video is about, though. This video is about the man. The man who said there were 3 roles he wouldn't take. We talk about stereotypical tropes on this channel a lot. We do. And their negative impact on us as a people. There were 3 roles he said he wouldn't take. The role where he couldn't read, the role where he couldn't drive, and the role where he couldn't swim. Why do we think that? Imagery and representation meant something to him. It's got to, for you not to take roles like that. You're letting it be known, hey, I'm not taking that. And when asked, would he take any role, that was the answer that he gave. No, he's not going to take any role. He's not going to do that. When I go back to that commencement speech at Howard, he says something that I always felt in my spirit. And it resonates with me to this very day. I want to see a movie made something similar to Ocean's 11, except have the racial dynamics flip. He talked about how Hollywood always pushes one of us at a time. Not all of us, just one of us. And since his passing, we've seen a dial back in representation when it comes to movies featuring African American. No, I'm not just talking about African American as the lead. No, I'm talking about the whole movie, just with a whole bunch of African Americans. And I ain't talking about something that's coming on Netflix. I ain't talking about something that's coming on Amazon. I'm not talking about something that's going to make its debut on HBO. I'm talking about something that's in the movie theater, showing right there in the movie theater. Because if you're my age, you remember a time when you could walk in the movie theater and see it. It didn't matter if it was low budget, mid budget, high budget. We had movies that featured us. Popcorn movies, if you will. What was the movie? Foolish. G's gotta have it. G's got everything. The young brother from the that was crazy about Rudy on the Cosby Show. He was right there. How many brothers and sisters was in that movie? A whole bunch of them. What was it? The young lady from the LL Cool J TV show. Yes, she did fall down on hard times. And then we also had the young lady. She wound up Candace Vaughn. Yeah. Yeah. He talked about that. He talked about how he had some favorite characters that weren't him. as we all do. Folks act like that. That's no. But how much more it meant to him to have characters that were him. He talked about that. He talked about how time moves differently. And I'm paraphrasing, but them quotes sit out there. You know the act. You watched it. You have. Whether we talking Five Bloods, whether we talking Draft Day, you know the actor. Do you know the man? Even with his star being placed on the Hollywood Walk of Fame yesterday, I don't believe we know the man. And the reason for that is because we want to keep telling folks the man was T'Challa. No, the man was Chadwick Aaron Boseman. That's who he was. And while he did play my favorite character, it is how he lived his life as a man that truly impacts me, moves me, if you will. And it is with my knowledge of him as a man that recast T'Challa, no dollar, will be forever ongoing until the character's recast. Because he knew the significance of his imagery. And when I say his imagery, I'm not talking about his imagery as a character. No, he knew the significance of his imagery as an African American man. And he, on more than one occasion, showed he was willing to not only stand up for it, fight for it, boycott for it, protest for it. I wish we knew that. I wish more of us knew that. In regards to him being immortalized on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, once again, congratulations. I think it should have been done sooner. But if I'm talking about things that I think should have been done to immortalize him, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, that star, that's one. I want to say thank you to Marvel Comics for doing the first thing. We have the Wakandan helicarrier, the Boseman, in Marvel Comics. That's going to be there. As long as we got Marvel Comics, we got a Black Panther, we got a Wakanda, we got the Boseman helicarrier. It's just somebody spinning the block on it. Hey, CB, what's going on? In regards to his biography, from what I've read, it has nothing to do with Marvel, Disney. Crazy, considering how they feel about him. His biography is going to be hitting the movie theaters from the same company that gave us the biography about Christopher Reeve. Thank y'all once again. Movie drop. Make sure you show up. Leave your feelings at the door. It's going to be difficult. I get it. But make sure you walk in wanting to learn about the man. Understand some preconceived notions you may or may not have had about the man, may or may not be wrong. But at the very least, here, unlike anywhere else, unless you didn't pull it up here or you pulled up the Urban Faith Network and listened to Derek speak, the movie will be the only place you get it. Long overdue, because a lot of damage has been done since he's been gone. But you say you a Chadwick Boseman fan. I'd like to think that you'll attend it. I'm going to check in with these notes real quick. I didn't want to spend too much time. I didn't think I needed to. Let's see here. Hitman Brooks, we in here. Message from the King. Thank you, Hitman. Thank you. What's going on now? Tell them is in the building. So that's it. If the question is, what was the purpose for this video? The purpose for this video is simple. Slander isn't needed, nor warranted. It never was. I have been recast T'Challa since day one. But before I was recast T'Challa, I was a Chadwick Boseman fan. Nothing's changed. I'm still a Chadwick Boseman fan. And in being a Chadwick Boseman fan, I'm going to tell the truth. I ain't got to lie to kick it. I ain't got to lie on his name. I don't have to mislead. Everything I said, you can actually Google. You absolutely can. Now, the damnest thing is this. With everything I said, you can Google it. It baffles me how almost 6 years, almost 6 years after he passed, folks are still misspeaking on his name. I'm gonna tell you like the pastor tell you on Sunday. If you say you're a Chadwick Boseman fan, what I'm telling you, you should already know. If you say you're a Chadwick Boseman fan, you shouldn't be taking my word at face value. Because you say you a fan. I could be lying. And so could everybody else. You're taking the word of people you don't know, people you don't talk to. Crazy. Because you never know where they're coming from. How about this? Because, see, I did it myself. You know how they say do it for yourself? How about this? How about Vice just taking my word, Ryan's word, Nate's word, Kevin's word, Michael's word, Roland's word? How about the smart device? Because you say you're a Chadwick Boseman fan. How about the smart device, which is what I used? I used cell phone. How about using that to learn about the guy you say is your favorite actor? I would like to think that's what we do when we say something is our favorite, someone is our favorite. We go, we learn, we research and everything like that. We get all the crooks in there. We learn stuff we may or may not want to know because we say that's our favorite actor. Well, I've said he's mine, but I ain't just say it. I don't think I'm the only one that has. But then again, who knows? Keep up with these notes. I'm gonna get on up out of here. Now tell him what the hell hard questions. Chadwick Boseman was a man of integrity. Yes. I watched his speech last night and how he spoke on not taking those roles because imagery meant everything to him. I don't even know what I right there. Thank you. Because I don't know how you study the man and you see certain stuff. He wasn't about stereotypes. He wasn't about trauma porn. He wasn't. Anybody studying him knows that. So when you tell me or you show me that you have no problem with consistently putting trauma porn, African-American, African stereotypes in the public eye, you have no problem doing it. You have no problem consuming it. You have no problem doing it. You have no problem consuming it. and you have no problem justifying as an African American. That tells me a lot. that tells me a lot. And I go, right. See, Derek didn't give no names. He said they. He didn't say who they were. He said they. Think about what I'm saying. They're more comfortable seeing you in the street as a victim. He didn't specify who they were. He said they. He said they. See you as a hero, as a victim. I know it might sound conspiratorial. He said they. He didn't say who. He said, now some of us made a conclusion as to who they were. But if you think about how society has moved since his brother passed, you don't necessarily know who they, you not like you thought you knew who they were. Yeah. That said, I'm out. I hope, let me keep up with these notes. These Steezel Rock with Me Nation moderators in the building. What's going on? Off the work, shouldn't have been on the podium, on that podium. Hit them likes, share, subscribe. Appreciate it. Thank you. We trying to grow. We was at 1344. I don't know how we got back to 1340. Once again, this is an entertainment superhero comic book / video. So I'm helping with the algorithms, but you can't help if folks don't want to be helped. I can't help the algorithms if the algorithms don't give two doggones. I can't get the knowledge out there if YouTube is like, we don't like what you're saying. Because as much Black Panther, this Chadwick Boseman video should be right up there. It should be. It should be promoted because I'm going to put Chadwick Boseman's face on it. I am. Put Chadwick Boseman's face on everything. Nice little thumbnail. Should be right on up there. I'm going to mention the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm going to put it in the tagline and every doggone thing. You would like to think. But I know better. I know better. And YouTube, yes, I feel like you didn't cost me a whole lot of money because I have seen folks constantly unsubscribing from the channel and they don't know. They don't know they've been unsubscribed and don't know they're not getting their notifications. How, Sway? Oh. It's gonna be kind of hard to demonetize somebody if they ain't saying stuff to get demonetized. So what you do is you shadow ban them. We're gonna be moving over to Patreon next year. So if you ain't on Patreon, get on over there. We're going on over there because I thought we was dealing up and everything like that, but this ain't an up and up society. We don't want to do that. So that said, I'm out. Like, share, subscribe. More importantly, I want you to have learned something that you didn't know before. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Remember the late great. What's going on, Wayne? What's going on? I'm out. You see him over my shoulder. It ain't going nowhere. That picture serves as a daily testament to make sure I'm keeping the main thing. And the main thing is representation, imagery, love, loyalty. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. So on behalf of Don Cornelius and the brother who got that star yesterday, I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and so we out.